The watch on my wrist today is the Garmin Epix Pro. It is the most extreme golf watch that I have ever reviewed on this channel. It's absolutely incredible what it can do. And if you are an adventurer, if you love the outdoors, if you like to do more physical activity than just golf, you are absolutely going to love this watch. But there is one thing this watch absolutely cannot do, and we will discuss that on today's video as well. In just a little bit, I'm going to take you out on the golf course and show you how this thing performs as I play 3 holes of golf. Before we do, I'm going to show you just how exceptional the health and wellness features of this Garmin Epix Pro are. And before I show you, I just want to remind you we've got about a week left here in our competition, giving away a brand new set of Ram FX77 irons. I've got a link down below. You just need to enter your name and email, and we will get you entered into the contest absolutely free. All right, let's show you what this Epix Pro is all about. This is the Epix Pro 2 on wrist. I've got the 47mm version on. They do make a smaller version as well as a larger one at 51mm. I think 47 works well if you're a man with a larger wrist. If you're a lady, you're probably gonna wanna look at the smaller version. And 51, I don't think if you're gonna use this for golf, 51 would work. It's already a thick watch, much thicker than the S70, which is more gently tapered here with the lugs. This one is 14.6mm thick. So that is housing a huge battery. And one of the reasons that this Epix Pro 2 is a Pro is the fact that it's got a longer battery life. And it also has one amazing feature here. If I double click this top button, you might see that a flashlight just turned on this watch. That is pretty crazy. So like I said, if you're an adventurer, if you're someone who's gonna be out in the woods on the weekends, not just on the golf course, you're gonna like a feature like that. So really cool. Now that's just the tip of the iceberg on this watch and what it can do. Obviously we've got weather, sunset information. That's all easy enough. It's got elevation there. All of that kind of standard fare for a smartwatch these days. But it's the health and wellness features that make this watch incredible. One thing in particular that Garmin watches do that no other watches really do like this is it has something called a body battery. You can see my battery right now is at 43. It goes all the way up to 100 and all the way down to 0. I know when I'm out on the golf course and I see a low number that my performance is probably going to suffer. As you can see there, it also measures the stress you've got in your body. All of that leads to you playing the best golf you possibly can out on the golf course. Now, I've got no sleep data for this because I haven't worn this sleeping, but here's some footage of my Epix 2, which does the exact same stuff as the Epix Pro. And you can see sleep data there. You can see if you're in REM sleep, how deep your sleep is. It tracks all of this stuff. Like I said, your golf performance or your performance in any activity is directly tied to your body battery, to your sleep, and to how well you are recovering at night. Very, very important to playing your best. Like most smartwatches, this has a heart rate monitor built into it. You can actually track it over time. You got your resting heart rate, that sort of thing. You've got your pulse ox here. But like I said, that sleep and that stress level measurement and that body battery is just so incredible about this watch. You can get your notifications on this phone. You can also load songs onto this phone and play it via Bluetooth onto a headset. This watch is one of the most powerful watches out there, but where it really shines is in the activity tracking. And not only does it do golf, which I'm going to show you in just a second, but you can click this to add activities. As you can see, any activity pretty much that you can think of is loaded onto this watch. Swimming, cycling, water sports, racket sports, anything that you can think of that you can play, this watch will track. It's absolutely amazing. But what you came to this video for is the golf, so let's go outside and let me show you that. Now this goes for every Garmin golf watch out there, but when you get to the course, you're gonna wanna hit that big button up top, and you can choose your activity. Of course, in this case, it's golf. We're gonna do that. We're gonna wait for the GPS. Once that loads, that was quick. That's about as quick as I've ever seen. Once that loads, we're gonna tell it what course we're on. I happen to be on Pine Cypress today, and now we're gonna load the courses. It's gonna ask, do I wanna keep score, which of course I do. I'll be playing the white tees, and we are good to go. Now, here I am standing on the tee box of this par 5. You can see it's 497, and if I tap that, I'm gonna get slope adjusted distances there. So that takes into account now weather, the barometric pressure, wind, all sorts of data to create that slope number. It's really, really intriguing, and that is new for this new update. As you can see down below, the virtual caddy is telling me to hit driver here, and that's what I'm going to do. Now this watch tracks all of your shots out on course, and it's going to ask you here with a prompt, what club did you hit? This goes into not only shot tracking and stats, but also a virtual caddy, which will begin to recommend the best club in any given situation. Now you might ask, how does Garmin keep track of the shots? Well, it's ingeniously simple. Like all their golf watches, the Epix Pro senses when you hit the shot. That's why it prompts you. And after you hit the next shot, that second shot, it's going to know exactly how far that first shot went. So it's always one shot behind, I guess. But again, super simple, super effective. Now I'm in a little bit of a tricky spot here in the hard pan. And as you can see, it's recommending me 3-wood, but if I hit that, I can get some alternate playing strategies here. If I go 3-wood, 3.9 strokes is what I can expect. If I go 5-iron, which is probably what I'm going to do, I can expect 4.2 strokes from this spot, okay? So my chances aren't as good, but in this case, because of the lie, we're going to have to go with that 5-iron. Of course, this map, very detailed. You can see I've got water up there. We're going to explore this map a little bit in more detail here after I hit this shot. I'm going to try to draw it here around that one branch. Lie's good though, at least for where I'm at. All right, came off the club face pretty low, but it was decent. Once again, the system's going to prompt me. I will tell it that I hit my 5-iron. All right, here I am. Perfect position. As you can see, I didn't quite get a hold of that. Up top there, you see that number, 162 yards. That's the distance from the last shot. A lot of people have asked me on my other Garmin videos, does it rule out bad contact, or what if you have to chip out? Yes, the Garmin does that. It kind of knows the upper ends and the lower ends and throws those out so that we come to a statistically significant average for all your clubs. Really amazing, the technology built into this thing. All right, so the watch is telling me that I've got 97 to the center, but what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go view the green and set the pin to where that flag is. That flag's actually front left, okay? And when I do that, you can see now it's telling me 89 yards. All right, that changed. Again, our plays like distance is going to be 88 yards. That's exactly to the flagstick. Virtual Caddy is recommending me a sand wedge. And after having done a gapping session with my hack motion, I'm going to leave that video up here for you to watch. I know that this is about a 75% swing here with the 54-degree wedge. Pretty good one. Let's see if it's the right distance. Yeah, that's really nice. There is bad news with this technology. The bad news is you really have no excuses left out on the golf course. You've got a virtual caddy telling you exactly the right club to hit. You've got incredibly accurate plays-like distances that are adjusted for wind, weather, all the conditions you can encounter out on the golf course. The X factor now is really your swing. Maybe the equipment. Maybe the equipment. Hit subscribe if you want to see what the best clubs are out there. I take a look at all of them. Okay, thanks to the Garmin, I've got myself, wow, a nice crack at birdie here. Turn. Ah, these greens, they can fool you. All right, well, we had a good chance at one at least. We'll move on to the second hole after that par, and I'll show you a few more amazing things this watch can do. All right, now that we walked off that hole, I can go ahead and hit this pencil icon over here, and it's going to ask how many strokes. Of course, I can go up or down, depending on how I did, but in this case, I had a 5. We'll hit the green check mark there. And you can see live scoring is on. So if you want to follow my rounds, follow me on the Garmin app. All right, second hole here. As you can see, it's playing 339, so it's a short one. This is actually telling me to go 3-wood. Now, again, I can circle through different ideas here. And the reason it's telling me to play 3-wood is because of that bunker out there, which I'm in a lot. You can see if I hit driver, I'll probably have a gap wedge in my hand, but I've got a chance to hit that bunker. That's the artificial intelligence built into this caddy, helping you minimize mistakes. So it's asking for 3-wood here. I should have a 9-iron in my hand. Unfortunately, I don't have a 3-wood in my bag at this very moment. I actually took it out of the bag, so we're gonna hit hybrid. And by the way, I highly recommend if there's a club in your bag that you are struggling with, sometimes just take it out of the bag. Minimize those bad shots out on course. There's only gonna be about a 10-yard difference from where my 3-wood would be anyways. And that is perfect. Now, my hybrid actually is equipped with one of those CT10 sensors, so it didn't ask me which club, it actually just sensed it. Love that about these. It's an add-on, it's an upgrade, but it's so worth it. I got a link right here to my video about these things and just how cool they are. Now, there are a lot of places you could buy your golf technology, but there is no better place than playbetter.com, the sponsor of this show for 3 years running. Best prices on the internet, best customer service, friendly folks there to answer all your questions. They're always good to the Let's Play Through community. Highly, highly, highly recommend you shop at playbetter.com. I've got links to this Epix Pro down below. You can see that bunker I was trying to avoid. I am dead middle of this fairway, guys. All right, Virtual Caddy says 9-iron. Now what this Virtual Caddy doesn't know is I've been hitting my clubs a little longer, so I'm teaching it as we play this round. I've got pitching wedge in my hand right now. Maybe I should have listened to the Virtual Caddy because we're on the green, but that's a little short. Good run, but it's another par. All right, we're gonna play one more hole together while I show you a few more things about what this incredible watch can do. Once again, we've got our club prompt there, and I don't need to move anything. It's another par. All right, so here is a tough, tight par 4, 392 from where I'm playing. This is going to play just a little bit shorter because we have, I guess, a little wind with us, maybe 387. The other thing I'll say about this is this watch knows your normal barometer, if that makes sense. The Virtual Caddy knows how far you hit a 7-iron, for instance, at your home course. And it will adjust that club that it chooses for you, the Virtual Caddy, based on, again, barometric pressure, wind, course conditions, where you're playing. Crazy stuff. A couple amazing things this watch will do is you've got something called a pin pointer. So literally it will reorient you if you've got a blind shot out on the golf course. Super handy tool. Tells you exactly where the pin is. Again, you can see the wind here, 3 miles per hour, left to right. This is a dogleg right, by the way. It's probably why that plays like distance is a little better. Got your odometer there, so you can see how many steps you're taking out on course, how long your session of golf has been. Club stats here, super fun, so you can see how far you hit each club. As you can see, my typical 8-iron says 150, my maximum is 164. But not only that, I can actually see the dispersion. I hit the green 92% of the time with an 8-iron, and I'm short 8% of the time. I don't miss right and left too much with that club. Just fascinating, fascinating stuff that all goes into that Virtual Caddy calculation. All right, last hole we're gonna play together. Let's make it a good one. That birdie's out there somewhere. That'll do. Now this is a big watch on wrist, the biggest golf watch I've ever played with. It's 47 millimeters. There's also a 52 millimeter version. Remarkably though, it does not get in the way of my swing. This thing is very light on wrist. Not as light as that S70, I don't think, but it's light. I just missed catching the downslope here, which would have given me a lot more distance, but we hit that one, what does it say? 252, as you can see up top. That's what I'm faced with. It's calling for another 9-iron. Well, it looks good, just a little left of target. We got our third birdie putt of the day. All right. That's 3 holes, that's 3 pars. So yeah, just an absolutely incredible watch. Who do I think this watch is for? Well, I would say if you are a person who is primarily just going to use a smartwatch for golf and you're not doing any of those other activities, those extreme activities, I would say the Garmin S70 is probably the better choice. It does everything this watch can do basically, but it has a better form factor. Now, if you are a person who likes to go hiking, loves the outdoors, loves to do some of those extreme sports, get into the ocean, all that sort of thing, and you also need a little bit more battery life as well as that flashlight, then I think you're looking at the Epix Pro. It's a pretty amazing watch as long as you've got the wrist for it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you learned something. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, get in that contest we're running here for the month of September, and I'll catch you back real soon on another edition of Let's Play through.